the 10 worst punishments in ancient Rome. In ancient Rome, punishments were more than just retribution. They were often public spectacles, designed to deter others from committing similar offenses. The brutality of these punishments reflected the harsh realities of the times and the societal attitudes toward crime and order. Here's a closer look at some of the worst punishments in Roman history. Crucifixion. Reserved for the most serious crimes, especially treason, this punishment involved nailing or tying the condemned to a wooden cross, leading to a slow, agonizing death. It served as a public humiliation and a fear tactic, with victims sometimes left to die over several days. Damnatio ad bestias. In this gruesome punishment, criminals were thrown into arenas to face wild animals like lions or bears. This form of execution was a popular spectacle, combining entertainment with a harsh reminder of the consequences of defying Roman law. Flogging, a cruel and painful punishment. Flogging, while often considered less severe than crucifixion, was still a brutal and inhumane form of punishment in ancient Rome. It involved whipping the condemned with a scourge, a multi-tailed whip made of leather or metal. Each lash could tear the flesh, causing excruciating pain and leaving permanent scars. The severity of flogging could vary depending on the crime and the judge's discretion. In some cases, the punishment was administered as a form of corporal punishment, while in others, it was used as a prelude to a more severe sentence, such as crucifixion or banishment. Flogging was a cruel and degrading punishment that had a lasting impact on the victim's physical and psychological well-being. It was a reminder of the Roman state's power and the consequences of breaking the law. For damnatio ad gladium, this punishment involved the condemned fighting as gladiators in the arena, often against trained fighters or wild animals. While some might see it as a chance for redemption, it was primarily a deadly spectacle with few survivors. Several notable gladiators in ancient Rome gained fame and fortune from their battles. Spartacus, the most famous gladiator, he led the Third Servile War, 73 to 71 BCE, against Roman oppression, becoming a symbol of resistance. His revolt attracted significant support but ultimately ended in defeat. Commodus, the Roman emperor, participated in gladiatorial combat, believing himself to be a skilled fighter. His matches were staged, ensuring his victories against weakened opponents, contributing to his notoriety. Crixus, a Gaulish gladiator and companion of Spartacus, Crixus was known for his bravery and played a significant role in the slave revolt before meeting his end in battle. Anemos, another prominent gladiator allied with Spartacus, Anemos was recognized for his combat skills and ultimately perished during the conflict. Flamma, a celebrated gladiator of the 1st century, crucifixion in reverse was a particularly gruesome method of execution. This brutal punishment involved impaling the victim on a sharpened stake, often following prior torture. Once the stake was planted in the ground, the victim would be left to die slowly and agonizingly, serving as a stark warning to others about the consequences of defying Roman authority. This method exemplified the extreme measures taken by the state to maintain order and instill fear, reflecting the harsh realities of justice in ancient Roman society. Deep in the heart of Rome, an artifact of death, torment, and unspeakable horror was unearthed, the crux verata, a relic cursed by the echoes of its gruesome past. Its existence was a testament to humanity's darkest moments, a chilling symbol of ancient Rome's most horrifying method of execution, the reverse crucifixion. This morbid ceremonial tool stirred an ancient force, awakening a forgotten evil from the shadows of neglect. As the crux verata was upturned, an ominous aura filled the room and a menacing silence fell over. 6 sewn into a sack and drowning, painaculi, was a horrific punishment for those guilty of parricide, involving the condemned being sewn into a leather sack with animals like snakes or monkeys and thrown into water. Several notable historical cases of parricide and related familial betrayal highlight the complexities of family dynamics in ancient Rome. Mark Antony faced accusations of familial betrayal, particularly regarding Julius Caesar's heirs. Julia Livilla, daughter of Germanicus, was implicated in a plot against her brother, Emperor Caligula, reflecting treacherous family relations. Tiberius is rumored to have orchestrated the deaths of family members, including his son, Drusus, amid accusations of betrayal. Aulus Vitellius, who became emperor in 69 CE, was accused of plotting against family members to gain power. Claudius was allegedly poisoned by his wife, Agrippina the Younger, to enable her son Nero's rise to the throne. These cases underscore the violent and tumultuous nature of familial relationships in ancient Rome, where ambition and betrayal often led to tragic consequences. 7. Exile exilium was a significant punishment in ancient Rome, involving the banishment of offenders to distant, inhospitable lands. While less physically brutal than other punishments, it served as a deterrent and demonstrated the consequences of defying Roman law. Exiled individuals faced isolation and struggled to survive, highlighting the severity of their crimes. Notable cases of exile include Cicero, exiled in 58 BCE due to political rivals, particularly Publius Clodius Pulcher. His return was a celebrated event in Roman politics. Ovid, exiled to Tomis in 8 CE by Emperor Augustus. The reasons remain unclear, but he hinted at a scandal related to his poetry. Seneca, exiled to Corsica in 41 CE due to suspicions of an affair. He was later recalled and became an advisor to Emperor Nero. Nero, before his reign, Nero was exiled by Claudius over plotting accusations, but he was later reinstated. Sertorius, exiled in the 80s BCE, he led a significant resistance against the Roman Republic in Spain. These examples illustrate how exile functioned as both punishment. 8. Forced labor in mines has been a historical practice used as a form of punishment or to exploit vulnerable populations. Convicted individuals could be sentenced to harsh labor in mines where conditions were often brutal. The work was physically demanding, dangerous, and often involved exposure to toxic substances. Many laborers died from exhaustion, accidents, or the effects of exposure to hazardous materials, making this punishment a slow and agonizing ordeal. The text describes the harsh conditions faced by convicted individuals forced to work in Roman mines. Gaius, a prisoner, experienced extreme physical and psychological suffering while working in the mines. The constant danger of cave-ins, the lack of air, and the exhausting labor created a terrifying environment. Despite the physical and emotional challenges Gaius and other prisoners fought to survive, their will to live becoming a testament to their resilience. 9. Confiscation of property, confisa. Financial penalties often accompanied physical punishments, including the confiscation of property. This deprived the offender of their wealth and served as a deterrent to others. When an individual committed a crime, authorities would seize their possessions, including land, money, and personal belongings. The primary goal was to strip the offender of their wealth, making it challenging for them to maintain their lifestyle or engage in further criminal activities. Nestled amongst verdant hills and pristine streams lay the vast estate of Baron Leopold. Famous for his wealth and lavish lifestyle, the Baron was a symbol of prosperity in his sleepy town. But beneath the wealth lay a sinister web of deceit and corruption. Until one day, the authorities descended upon his opulent manor, armed with an order of confisa. The once all-powerful Baron lost all his fortunes overnight, his grand manor seized, gold and riches confiscated. It served as a harsh reminder that no one was above the law. 10. Public humiliation, infamia. Offenders were subjected to public ridicule, such as being paraded through the streets or having their names posted publicly. This aimed to shame the offender and deter others from similar actions. Public humiliation was a common form of punishment used to shame offenders and deter others from committing similar crimes. This practice involved exposing the offender to public ridicule, often through parades or public postings of their names. The goal was to tarnish the offender's reputation and make them a social outcast, effectively ostracizing them from the community. Public humiliation could take various forms depending on the nature of the crime and the severity of the punishment. Some offenders might be forced to wear humiliating clothing or carry signs indicating their crime. Others might be subjected to physical punishment, such as beatings or whippings, before being paraded through the streets. While infamia is no longer practiced today, it serves as a reminder of the harsh punishments that were used in ancient Rome to maintain law and order. It was a time when crucifixions were more than ghastly tales. They were a haunting reality. This was the era of the Roman Empire, a society guided by harsh punitive actions of ancient Rome, where justice was often blinded by social status. Meet Maximus, a poverty-stricken thief who stole only to feed his family, and Gaius, a wealthy senator whose corruption knew no bounds. As we traverse through streets of Rome, we'll contrast their lives, their crimes, and ultimately, their punishments. The incongruity between the punishments meted out to Maximus and Gaius will breathe life into the disturbing social disparity that existed within the Roman justice system. As our narrative unspools, your modern perception of justice will echo with reminders of an archaic past where the scales of justice were often tipped by wealth and power. Echoes of the past. It's an unsettling mirror holding up the chilling repercussions of social inequality and injustice, further emphasizing the importance of our current pursuit of fairness and equality and justice.